Okay, and lastly, should we talk about White Lotus? So I think that's a good recap of Traitors. Let's talk about White Lotus.
I am really, really excited for this season.
Me too. I really like the first episode. I've actually been seeing online a lot of people aren't into it or like,
why?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was a lot of setup, but I think what's so incredible about Mike White, the creator of White Lotus, like he does such a great job of like drawing out all these characters, like so many different characters, like so effectively and efficiently. Like I feel like I have such a good read or sense of like who all these different people are just from one episode.
I'm also okay. We have to talk about a lot of people.
Should we start with the friend group, the three ladies?
Yes.
So yeah, this is fun because it's actually like three pretty well-known actresses.
Yes.
Leslie Bibb, Carrie Coon, and Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah.
And
Carrie Coon, huge fan because one of my favorite shows on HBO of all time is The Leftovers.
Okay, you loved that show.
I love a dark show.
Yeah. I never got into it, or I think I watched the first episode and then I liked it but never continued. I feel like I should go back to it.
It was slow and depressing, and just if you're in the mood to be like sad.
Okay. I mean, always.
Always.
So,
Taylor Swift girlies.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an emo kid at heart.
Right. That's really good side note. That's what I want. Really quick side note. That's one of the things that Taylor Swift haters don't understand about Taylor Swift. They think that her fan base are just like, I kissed a boy and
and now I'm sad.
Right. Or like, I'm whatever. Taylor Swift songs, the lyrics are daggers. If you're a diehard Swiftie, you love being sad.
Yes, 100%.
People don't
She's
realize that. She's an emo kid, like for real.
Yeah. No,
anyway,
her music is devastating. It's like they just think it's Shake It Off.
Shake It Off, or like,
she has to pay the bills. But...
Right, exactly. Or Love Story.
Right.
Which, great, I mean, obviously always gonna be a Love Story fan, but like that's not...
Right.
We listen for...
My boy only breaks his favorite toys.
Not even. I was going to say...
Love of My Life.
Love of My Life, but what's the one?
All Too Well?
Sam... Sophia Marcus.
Oh, yeah. Chloe or Sam or Sophia.
I listen for Chloe or Sam or Sophia Marcus.
Or Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. Oh, Peter. Just Peter.
I'm sorry, Peter. Said you were gonna grow up, and you were gonna come find me. Said you were gonna grow up, then you were gonna come find me.
Literally.
Okay.
I mean, that whole album.
The whole album.
Whew. Okay.
So, there's definitely some interesting dynamics. So, like, Michelle Monaghan, she's the actress. She's the famous one. And then Leslie Bibb, I think her character is Kate. It kind of seems like they were, like, really close. Like, they were the closest when they were younger. And then Carrie Coon was, like, she's always been on the outs. Like, she's definitely the third wheel of the group. And then maybe when Michelle Monaghan, like, blew up and became famous, the other two got closer. And maybe now that they're back all together, like, the dynamic is weird.
Okay. Totally had a different take.
Okay,
I love that take. My take was that they were all equally close when they were younger, but I do love what you're picking up. I didn't sense that. They were equally close because when you're younger, they're all very pretty. They're all beautiful. Yeah. And I think it's very possible that the two who are clearly a bit more like made up got a little more work done to preserve that. But I think it's possible that when they were like, someone said when we were younger, people couldn't tell us apart.
Right. So I think Leslie Bibb said that because she definitely feels insecure, probably, that like they used to look alike and now she's like famous and beautiful. And yeah.
So that's what I mean is like they were all extremely close, but as they got older, their priorities shifted, and Carrie Coon is clearly, I don't know, the serious one, like has a corporate job.
Seems like she's divorced,
or who knows what happened to her husband. And then obviously Michelle Monaghan became famous and is clearly the beautiful one.
Yeah.
And then the third friend has, I think, a insecurity and a sort of jealous, envious relationship with the famous friend. She's clearly a socialite in her own small group, wherever that is. And she made that clear. People ask her for things and she loves helping people. And she clearly has a very wealthy husband and is probably a housewife and is living her dream. But I think I get social climber vibes and envy vibes of wanting to be like
Jacqueline.
Yeah,
that was sad when they were all sitting around and then Lori was like, oh, I'm tired. I think I'm going to like go to bed. And then she just like gets back to her room and like bursts out into tears and sees the other two like still hanging out.
One thing Sammy Sage said, shout out, love her, love you if you're listening. She said,
me too, Sammy.
She said that she thinks this season is going to be darker.
Yes.
Than other seasons. Their seasons past. And even in a storyline that's seemingly lighter, like these three friends, because obviously there are very dark storylines, which we'll get to.
Mm-hmm.
This one seems a little more surface level, but having Carrie Coon go back to her hotel room and cry like that,
yeah,
that's dark.
Yeah, that was really dark. Like, it was so cutting the way she just like burst into tears, threw her wine glass on the bed. And it's like, I think any woman has felt that pain of like being in a group of three and feeling left out, because that is what happens in a group of three. It's an odd number and someone inevitably feels left out at any time. So it's like, it's very relatable. And also it's like, it kind of doesn't go away at any age. No. You could like feel that way.
Totally.
So that, and like, that's like one of the lighter storylines.
Yes, it is. Okay, so let's move on.
Okay, so do we want to talk about the family?
Oh my God, the Ratliffs.
The Ratliffs. Okay. So we have Jason Isaacs as the dad, aka Lucius Malfoy, which is so fun. Everyone's like, I didn't recognize him without his like blonde weave. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Like, the dad is Lucius Malfoy, the dad from like all the Harry Potter movies, the long blonde wig. Do you know who Lucius Malfoy is? How do you not know? You've seen Harry Potter, right?
Like, maybe. Like, yes.
You know Malfoy, who's like Harry Potter's like nemesis with the blonde
one?
hair?
Yeah.
His dad.
Got it. I was like, that cannot be Malfoy.
No, it's his dad. Okay. But it's just so funny because he always has this like sleek, long, blonde hair.
He's incredible. He's also kind of hot.
Yeah, he is. But it's just so fun. It really just shows like how much like hair could change a person.
Of course.
Because you
know the
girl.
You know that.
Yeah, but that's a story for another time.
It's like everyone knows it because we've said it 10 times.
I'm really right. Exactly.
Every episode we talk about Rebecca's hair journey.
Yes, it's inevitable. So him and his family are really fucking dysfunctional.
Wow. I love the siblings.
Wait, we have to talk about the mom.
Okay, Parker Posey, obviously.
AKA, what's her name? From Fiona from our favorite movie of all time, Josie and the Pussycats. What range she has.
She is so funny.
She's so funny.
How has she not been on SNL?
That's a really good point.
I feel like she would be such a good.
Well, so many people have auditioned for SNL, but not made it.
I know, but I feel like she would be so good in like that sketch comedy format because she can put on so many different voices and like all her weird mannerisms.
It's like the Southern drawl, but then also being like pilled out too.
Oh my God.
And jet lag. So I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on here.
Yes.
It's perfect.
One of my favorite lines of hers or like scenes when they get off the boat and she was just like, Lockie just got into UNC and Duke. So, that's like the whole thing. Telling this like random like Thai man.
On the beach. They were like, what are you talking about? They definitely have no idea. So Patrick Schwarzenegger is like the oldest sibling, and
he's great.
He is definitely like he's like the entitled douchebag,
but
male privilege.
Take it to another bizarre level. Like the way he like sexualizes his sister
and his brother.
And is just creepy towards all the women on the beach. I mean, it's like male privilege, but like he's like dirty.
Yeah, I mean,
weird.
It was there's definitely some kind of predatory grooming behavior because he calls his sister hot, which is like, wait, like the second he said it, it's like everyone's like, that's not normal. There's something really weird there. But then when him and Lockie are sharing a room and he's like asking him what kind of porn he likes, he's like definitely kind of grooming him.
Yeah.
And then he gets up to go to the bathroom. And then did you notice that Lockie was checking him out? Like, I feel like he was kind of looking at him. Weird. Yes. So I'm like, is he also, like, there's definitely, it might not just be the older brother that's like.
Well, I think I kind of just saw that as him looking up to his older brother and kind of seeing like, oh, like, how do you masturbate? Like, what is, like, what.
Okay, right, he was just genuinely like curious.
Right. I saw it more as like, young, he's probably 16.
Well, he got into
17.
college. Yeah, so he's like 17 or 18.
Yeah, fair. I know, like, I wanted him to be younger.
Yeah.
And because it was a little weird. And I think this older, he just graduated from college and he works for his dad, and there's this hyper masculine energy in the house that's really like appreciated and valued. So I saw that as like him wanting to emulate his brother as opposed to
could
like
be that too. Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. And then I was interested because like the older sister and the older brother are like clearly fighting for like the attention, affection, and time of Lockie. And I just like wonder if like the sister is like trying to protect Lockie from like the predatory older brother. Totally. I also get that vibe too.
Right. She like knows that he's a freak. And
yeah. So that is so dark. I feel like that is definitely like the darkest storyline we've ever seen on White Lotus.
Yes, very weird things. And then of course the father.
Yes.
What's going on there?
Yeah, like he's being investigated for fraud, or
he's been involved. He's just been involved. Yes, there's a Wall Street Journal article coming out about a business venture dealing that he had with a man from Thailand. Well, he's American, but he lives in Thailand.
Got it. Okay.
And he's married to the owner of the hotel.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, kind of. I think I forgot about this, but it's like ringing a bell now.
So he had a weird business dealing with the husband of the woman, the owner of the hotel.
Wait, are you still talking about the dad, or are you talking about the other guy? The guy that like has beef with the dad of the family?
It's both.
Oh,
I am talking about the dad.
Oh,
the
okay.
Dad took the call.
Yeah, yes.
And he was like, "Did you know?"
He's like, "You're going to jail." Yeah,
something like that. He's like, "Did you know?" The guy on the phone was like, "Did you know this person?" And it's the same person that the other guy who we didn't get to yet.
Okay,
I forget his name.
The smoking guy.
The smoking guy is looking for.
Got it. Okay. See, I missed that. I probably like dozed off at some point.
Or I mean, I hope I'm right.
No, that sounds right. And they're definitely, and he has tension with the smoking guy. Rick is his name.
Yes.
Rick. So Rick has come to the White Lotus with his super young girlfriend, played by Amy Lou Reed, who I love from Sex Education. She's like the best part of that show.
I didn't know her from Sex Education. I just literally think she's like so beautiful.
She's really unique looking.
Yes, and it's funny because I said to Ariel, I'm like, I'm obsessed with her teeth. And later in the show, there was that hot girl who sits next to her and randomly goes, "I'm obsessed with your teeth." And I just thought it was funny because I said to Ariel, I'm like, that's so funny that women think like that. Like, clearly Mike White knew that that's something that a certain type of woman would like
comment on.
Right, because she just pulls it off. It's just cool. Like she looks like a sexy London girl. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Their dynamic is really funny.
Oh my God.
Interesting. Like I'm confused if they're like actually a couple or like why she's accompanying him. Like I don't get like lover vibes necessarily.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought they were lovers, but you're right. It's a weird dynamic.
Like the way they talk to each other is not how like a boyfriend and girlfriend talk to each other.
Well,
but it could also just be because they're weird.
And like kind of abusive. Like she's like he's so used to kind of like shutting her down, and she's so used to being shut down, but she doesn't care. She's like so sunshiny, and she's like, turn that frown upside down, mister. Like that's like kind of her vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Like she likes to look on the bright side of things.
She was like a yogi.
Yes. And then I loved how she went to the bar and she meets that woman who we then see is with Greg.
Insane.
Greg, who killed Tanya at the end of season 2. Or had
Tanya killed. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
It's really crazy. And I just wonder, like, I guess this is like his thing. Like he just like, I don't get how he like is able to land someone like her. Like I kind of get Tanya because Tanya was like older and like.
Well, clearly he has money. Clearly he's very powerful.
Yeah,
I think
he must be.
I mean, we're going to find out what his actual deal is because we didn't know anything about his deal. Because the first season we thought he was just like, swept Tanya off her feet. He was like this weird old guy. Like it made sense that they were together. They were quirky.
Yeah.
Then season 2, we realized
he set sinister.
He set her up. Was trying to get her money. Is involved in some deeper, darker things. Season 3, that's reinforced.
Yes.
He's returned.
He's returned to another White Lotus.
Yes, with Belinda.
That's her name, Belinda?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, because of Wicked, the goat, that's like, Belinda. Ariel and I now, whenever we're like, Linda.
You mean Professor Gillibrand?
It's not. Is it Gillibrand? It's
Gillibrand?
No, it's something with a G.
I think it's Gillibrand.
It's Diddleman.
Diddlebrand? Diddleman?
Something.
I don't know.
Diddleman.
My dog looks exactly
Dillamond.
like him. Dillamond. Yes.
Dillamond.
Literally, we call Finley Professor Dillamond because he looks exactly like him.
It's so fun.
Oh my god! And his song is the worst in Wicked. That's a skip every time.
Oh my god! It's so
Something
dark.
bad.
Something bad is happening in Oz.
You would like that song.
No, I don't. I don't like it. I just like it's about the Jews.
Oh, okay. Well,
did you know that?
No. Well, now I feel like an asshole.
Well, I'm just the animals, how they're like the scapegoat. It's not like about the Jews explicitly, but there's a lot of Holocaust references of
like being othered and scapegoated. Oh.
And Stephen Schwartz, who wrote the musical, is Jewish.
Well,
go back
now I have to listen with new ears.
Something bad. Must be catching a cold.
No, I don't know it. I skip it. I skip it every time because I'm like, the song sucks. Our son is so cute, and I don't know how he realized those were gunshots.
That was so hot.
He's like,
miss, those are gunshots, because she was in the middle of her meditation.
Yes. I know.
No, it was hot. He was just like saving the day, and then he's like in the water, like trying to find his mom. I'm very into Zion. I mean, I'm excited. This season, I'm very excited.
I'm very excited.
Who would not be into this season? I don't even get that.
I'm seeing everywhere that people are like, it wasn't as good as normal White Lotus episodes. I'm like,
don't know what they're talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like we got to set up the show. Like, give it a second.
Give it a minute. Loved the Thai staff.
Mm-hmm.
I love both of them. I love that dynamic. She's kind of like a little bitchy. I don't want him to be taken advantage of, the security guard.
Yes, I think that he definitely has a soft spot for her.
Definitely. For sure. And she's like into like the bodyguards of like
the hotel. Or the owners of the hotel. Yeah. It seems like he's gonna get himself into some trouble with defending her.
So should we take guesses on who's shooting the gun?
Yes. Who do you think?
I think it's one of two people. I think it's likely the security guard, because they lead you to believe that,
right? Because
in some of the previews, oh my god, it's Sunday.
I know it's on tonight. So okay, full disclosure, we're recording this on a Sunday, so we're recapping episode 1. By the time we get this out, episode 2 will be available, so we might be slightly behind, but
that's okay.
It's just our episode 1 recap.
In the previews for season 1, there are scenes of the security guard with a gun, so obviously you're sort of led to believe that he's the one doing the shooting,
right?
Which makes sense because he's the security guard, so that makes me think that it wouldn't be him, and I think it might be Rick just because he's the most sinister. Or honestly, speaking out loud, could be Patrick Schwarzenegger.
I was just, now that we're talking about it, now I'm thinking it's Patrick Schwarzenegger. Something we also didn't talk about is how he picked up that fruit and was like, can we eat these? And she was like, no, the seeds are poisonous. So that's definitely going to come back around. Like, someone's getting those seeds.
And then he said something like, so you could die? And she like kind of looked, she's like, yep, you could die. It was some like weird interaction where he needed to like
confirm.
Yeah.
So he's probably, I don't know if he's going to like try to target his dad because he has like this resentment towards his dad.
Yeah.
Or who knows. But those seeds will come back. Also, I just thought it was like definitely very telling that they said the seeds are poisonous, like the children, like the seeds.
Wow.
Yeah. So many good theories swirling, and it'll be fun to recap every week.
This was so fun.
This was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for listening to Middle Part. If you like Middle Part, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
And now YouTube.
Please like, review, and subscribe on YouTube. You can listen on Spotify.
I just think we need to end every single episode literally
holding hands. It's beautiful. You can listen to us in an audio format on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
And we'll be back next week with another episode.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.